go through a concrete block, yeah. But a lot of ICS and a lot of even civil wall construction. One in particular, AgriBoard. If you set AgriBoard up, the wood will shatter up against AgriBoard. I've seen the video of that in slow motion. See the slow motion thing of it. So it's a neat test, and it's the most. There are 2 places in the United States where they do tornado tests. One here and one in Florida. But the Florida one is kind of wimpy. You know, we want to do the real one. You got to be careful. Okay. And yeah, that's it. Any questions?
I noticed that the stucco was all dark at the Tierra Cal workshop, and a lot of emphasis was put on using the real lime wash that is reflective on. What is it, Mr. Baroni? It's it's reflective on more than one level that the lime is.
The lime wash is calcium carbonate, and it has dual reflectance.
Dual reflectance.
You look at a calcite crystal, a clear one, and everything is double. You see double lines.
So there was. I noticed that this was all brown or something. Did they talk about that? Because in that workshop they were really talking about the white color.
It could be that the glass in their wash, you know, added that reflectivity. I don't know, but it was a darker color, and possibly maybe the glass that was in it helped to reflect the heat. I'm just guessing.
Yeah, it would help to reflect the heat. Yeah.
Most likely a coloring agent.
Oh.
Coloring agent to give it the earthy colors that they want.
Right.
It depends a lot too on what you're using for your dirt.
Right.
If you put any pigment with that lime wash, it really cuts down on this reflectance. Any kind of pigment. About 4 degrees, 6 degrees difference.
What did the Big Mason do to make this factory for this?
Well, the Ray Bones are from the Mason area for one, and they were able to buy a batch plant. It was a concrete batch plant that they bought that went out of business.
Okay.
And so they were able to get it cheap. And they were making their material as you would be making concrete mixes. You know, they have this big, huge tower and a place where the truck can pull up and you dump it into the truck and all that.
That's Roman stone.
So that's why it's there.
Well, he also is I mean, they were in the ready mix business, weren't they? Before, and the son got, when he spoke at our group, spoke here, right? He said his son went down and learned about Papercrete, which was basically, has been a homemade backyard scientist kind of thing. And using their knowledge of concrete and so forth, they have made it into a uniform industrial material rather than something that you just make by the batch and you use in the county where there's no building code.
What's the name of the Mason?
Mason Green Star.
Sorry.
Hello.
You ought to think that those blocks could be used, incorporated into an adobe structure very nicely in certain areas. Instead of stabilized adobes, you could use those.
Yeah, you probably could, but I still would be a little bit nervous about the coefficient of expansion might be a little bit different, and also because it weighs differently. You know, I wouldn't.
I was wondering about an arch.
What if you did it for your
Yeah.
interior walls?
You definitely can do it interior wall.
Yeah.
So I think have people
supporting.
What are some good websites for people to look up?
Ah, good question.
Mason Green Star.
Well, Mason Green Star would be good. Mason, I think it's, if you Google it, Mason Green Star, and blocks is spelled B-L-O-X, you'll get the very first hit. And, you know, they've got a decent, you know, it's an okay website. Not bad, but not the greatest. But
AdobeBuilder.com too.
Yeah.
Or the AdobeBuilder.com.
which one? AdobeBuilder.com.
Was Joe Tibbet this one here?
No, this was not a Tibbet's. It seemed like it. But if you go to Adobe Builder, you can get on Joe Tibbet, you can get the magazine. One thing that's really helpful about it, you can see the workshops that are coming up. At least once a year, there's one at Jetter's Place. So,
We learned about the Arum. Although we have Mr. Jetter here, we always want to support his machines. There's a hand press that's made in Auroville, India. And that is a site to look up for mind-blowing Earth architecture. Auroville, like Auroville. We have a link on the site. We have a link on the site, story about that Earth workshop. And they, the pictures there are just incredible. They don't just use square blocks. They use triangular blocks. They use curved blocks. They use 75 different styles of compressed earth block, and it's in India. Yeah, it's an intentional community in India.
And so there's a lot of information on our site. Thanks very much to Wayne, more than anybody else. And also, so take a look at that handout. You'll get all sorts of. Did you get one? Yeah. And so it's got our link on there too.
Including, we have so far 2 of Mr. Maroney's reports on the thermal qualities of Adobe compressed earth block, which, you know, we hear so much in our groups of people making assertions about different materials. And one thing that Mr. Maroney has done is done scientific research that proved why we said that Adobe is warmer in the winter and cooler in the summer. But it wasn't just people's fond thinking that
exactly.
it's a fact.
You know, like Gail Boris and I have been in love with earth and materials for a long time. And we always thought, oh, it's cooler because of the thermal massing. You know, we just like conjecture, kind of pie in the sky, dreamy architect stuff. And when John Maroney came up with that paper, we go, oh, that's why it works.
It was 20 degrees cooler.
Yeah.
20 degrees.
And not 2 or 5. I mean, it was.
Without air conditioning, so you kind of wonder, why did we throw this away? Why did we leave that kind of thinking behind?
Because we went modern with air conditioning.
Yeah, we
And
trained and roof.
thought all of that would last forever.
Mr. Maroney also
And
dropped a
pay
little
forever.
on your earth floor workshop. You just dropped a little hint about using a compressed earth block for your floor, right? You're doing that in Del Rio?
Well, for the floor,
Yeah.
I think I've talked to that with Stephen, but I've had no experience with it, but I don't see why you couldn't as a start. What do you think about that as a start?
No, as a matter of fact,
Your first layer would be use the compressed earth blocks.
well, the first layer, what I would do would be, I'd have the block underneath there, like on the earth and floor that we did.
Yeah.
Then I'd put a sand bed on there as a leveling bed, and then put
then the compressed earth
and then put the compressed earth block. Because I asked Frank Meyer about that the day of the show, and Frank Meyer is also very familiar with Adobe and compressed earth block. And I said, you know what? It would save a whole lot of tamping and a whole lot of effort, and a whole lot of crying and sweat if we just kind of laid the compressed earth block in there. And he says, you know, that's not a bad idea.
Well, yeah, could you just seal it then, similar to what you did the soil?
Yeah, absolutely.
I would think that would work believably.
It would.
Anything about anybody I've heard it said it is labor intensive no matter what you
It is, but I'll bet you anything is a whole lot less labor intensive putting a block under. So I would do the rock, and then a sand bed, put the compressor block on top, and then a slurry mix if you want to, and go ahead and polish that out, and you're done.
Well, yeah, the one that Simone Swan, she incorporated some elder glue and the upper part, and that really came out really well. I don't know how kosher that is in terms of drinking.
Well, it depends on, you know, how
Yeah.
sensitive you are, because.
It worked real well with the clay.
Yeah. Yeah, because, well, that's true. And then also there's another component like what was talked about at the workshop at Jetter's, you know, with Jim Howard.
Yeah, right.
He had that, the cactus juice.
Yeah, right.
You know, you could use that a little bit. Remember the cactus juice business? Oh, they're talking.